This conference will now be recorded.
Yeah, fine. So, good morning, all of you. I hope you're done with your installation of your database. I already mentioned it install any of the database, right? Fine. So, in the yesterday's class, we just discussed about, uh, you know, uh, let me open this. See, like DBMS is that all we already done in the previous session, but in the yesterday we just walked through this UI of SQL Server. After that, we just know the chord rules with respect to the database, and after that, we just saw the CRUD operations. So we are ready to move on to the actual topics of SQL. So SQL is a language, right? So inside the SQL, we have five sub languages. Okay, those five sub languages will be discussing about different things in the SQL. Okay, for example, if I say about data definition language, it will be talking about only structure of the data. If I say about data manipulation language, then it will be talking about only the transactions or only the changes that can made to the database. Okay. um Fine. So let us see data definition language today. So try to concentrate here. Don't get distracted by any of the things. Now let us see here. In simply it simply deals with description of the database schema, and it is used to create modify the structure of the database objects inside the database. DDL is a set of commands used to create, modify, and delete databases structures based but not data. See what it is telling. It will simply deals with the structure of the data. Okay, structure means what? You're going to have table, right? So you you are going to create the table or you're going to create the database. Okay, you're not at all touching the data with the help of DDL. Okay, DDL will not have any connection between data. Okay, it will not have any connection to the data, but what it can surely have, it will concentrate on the structure of the database objects. Okay, not only the database objects, but also this database. You can create and you can drop the database as well. Okay, so for example, I have 10,000 records in my table. Okay, I want to delete 5 records, or else I want to delete all the records. Now, can DDL help me to delete all the records? You will get a question. Bhavya, you told me that DDL will not touch the data, but you are telling that now DDL, which means DDL will help us to delete the data. How? See, I told you it will not touch the data, but it is also possible that it will blindly delete all the records. It doesn't concentrate on the data that have inside the table. No, it will only think that it has to clean up the table. It has to clean the table from the database. That's it. It doesn't know that whether we have nulls inside it. It doesn't know that you know, like what is the data we have. No, it doesn't bother about it. Okay, it just only know the metadata of the data. It just know the structure of the table or the structure of the database. That's it. Okay, I will prove you this one. Okay, I told you that the ddl command will not talk with the data inside the table. If you want to delete something from the table, like if you want to delete the data from the table, you can do it. How I told you, blindly ddl will drop all the table or else truncate the data inside it blindly. Okay, how can you prove it, Bhavya? Like ddl will not touch the data? Yes, I will prove it. Okay, don't worry. Now, what can we do with ddl? Okay, we understood that it is going to deal with the structure of the structure of the database objects. What is mean by that? Like what is the, how it is going to touch the structure? Like how we are going to deal with that structure? How we are going to communicate with the structure? For that we have commands. See, SQL is not a programming language, it is a structured query language. So inside the SQL we are going to have commands, commands to talk. We have a we are by using commands we will frame a sentence, which means we will frame a query and we will execute it. Okay, remember that one. So what we can do with ddl, we can create a table, we can create an index, we can create a view, stored procedures, triggers, everything. So create is an ddl statement. It is an auto commit statement. What is meant by auto commit? So what is ddl? Sorry, what is what is create? ddl. DDL command. So what it actually do? It will create. You can create whatever you want by using create statement. So all the DDLs are nothing but what? All the DDL commands are what? Auto commit. What is meant by auto commit? See, you save. For example, you have created one thing. Let us say you have created one document. Okay, so you are supposed to save the document, right? You just hit control plus enter and you will create it. You will save it. So like that only, ddl will not do such thing. The moment you create a table, it is automatically saving inside a database. Okay, that is nothing but an auto commit. Okay, that is nothing but an auto commit. So commit is nothing but a saving. Okay, this commit kind of thing we will see in the transaction control language. Okay, so remember all the ddl commands are auto commit. You are not supposed to save that table. Okay, now similarly drop is also the command. um, this command is used to delete objects from the database. Okay, see, it is going to drop each and every object, each and everything. Like you have created a table, right, already. Now you want to add one column. What you have to do, you have to alter the created one. See, if If the table not yet created, then you can create it by using create keyword. But the table is already created and you want to do some changes, then you should go for alter command. Okay. Now truncate, it is used to remove all the records from a table, including all for the records that are removed. Okay. See, truncate, the English meaning of drop and truncate, go and Google it. You will be getting the same definitions, right? Drop is also same, truncate is also same, correct? Drop will delete the objects, truncate also will delete the objects. But what is the difference between drop and truncate? It will drop, see, drop will drop all the including structure. It will drop the data from the database permanently. Truncate also will drop the data permanently, but the structure will be remaining same. The structure remains same, whereas data inside it will be truncating. Okay, that is the major difference that we will see. But remember, one statement I passed, if I'll not let you know the difference, or if I not let you um, clarify the thing which I have told you, you have to work on it. So make sure that listen properly, I'm going to cover that. See, before creating DDL, like creating a database, and before entering into DDL, we should know about data types and constraints. Okay. See, you cannot create a table just like that. Okay, I will show you that. See, so let me create a database first. Let it be any database now, because I can't select one database, right? So I am just creating one database. Create database. My database is db underscore 7. So this is my database. Okay. So how can we create a database? Create database name. How simple it is, see. So to execute this one, I will be selecting this command and hitting Control plus E. The moment I hit Control plus E, it is executed. Okay. So where we can see this database, just expand these databases. Now see here, you have db7. Right now you have created. Inside this you don't have any tables. See, you don't have any tables. These are some system tables, something that. Okay. So this is how you are going to create a database. Now, to be a good developer, you have to, you know, use uh, use keyword. See, if you want to be a good developer, don't just simply write a queries over there. Okay, if you write a query, if you write a code, the next person should understand. The next person should not run for the database that you have used. For that, what you have to use, you have to make sure that the moment you write a query, you have to write use keyword, like use database name and go. That you have to uh, make sure while writing a queries. Okay. Being this thing apart, keeping this apart, see, here I have master database, right? The moment if I create a table, it is going to create inside a master database, because my server right now connected to the master database. So I don't want to connect to the master database. I want to move to this DB7. How can I move? The one manual thing is that, click on this drop down box and select DB7. Now the whatever the things you will be creating here, that all will be creating inside the DB7. But manually it doesn't possible that every time you have to go to this table. Sorry, you have to open this SQL server, you have to change the database, you have to execute this query. See, this will not be the case every time. And also after few days I will forgot that which database I have used for all these queries. That's for sure. Then in that case, see, I'll be in a danger, like one each and every database I need to check, which is very bad practice. For that purpose, through command also you can change the database. You can use the database which you want. So what was the command we have to use database? Itself saying, right? Use database db underscore 7. So use db7. db7 means database, right? So see, I will change this one to db6. Now I'll execute this command. What we have to do? Control E. See, here it got changed automatically. See, remember guys, what are the database? It will be showing here the same thing. To that database your server was connected. Okay, remember that one. For that you have to use this particular command. See, to be a good developer, you have to do this. Okay, after that just hit go, then you can write the queries here. Okay, now I just created a table. So okay, I don't want to have any schemas here. No worries, by default schema is dbo. It's okay, fine. If you want to create a schema, just create schema name. That's it. And use this command, create schema name. Right now I'm not using that. Directly I'm using dbo schema. That's okay, fine. Now I want to create a table. Can I write like this? Create table. Incorrect syntax near colon, semicolon. It will not tell you that you have to define a columns. No, it won't. But you have to understand that table cannot be created without the columns. Is that true? See, I have something in my paper, you know, uh, it doesn't contains rows and columns. So can I call it as table? No. Remember, I'm stretching. See, people, even though I tell this one, people are doing the same mistake. They're doing this and they're coming with me with an question mark face. Bhavya, you are getting to create a table, but we are not getting how to create a table. So this is the mistake you are doing. You can't create a table without a columns. Not only here, everywhere you go throughout the world, in the world you will not create a table. Okay, to create a table, what are mandatory?
Columns,
Columns. To create columns, what are mandatory?
data types,
Yes, that is more important. I will show you that example also. Now create table sample1 of, I'm just taking id, that's it. So I have taken column. Now I will create this table. If I have columns, okay, I will create a table. I can call it as a table. I told you that. Let us see, does SQL Server allows, not only SQL Server, any database. See, the definition of column id must include a data type. It is not telling that you may include a data type. No, it is not telling like that. What it is telling, you must, if you are dying while creating a table, include a data type and die. No worries, I will not bother about. Okay, just include a data type while creating a table, and no worries, if you die, if you alive, no worries. That is, must and should. Data types are must and should. And while creating a table, how columns are must and should, how data types are must and should, choosing a perfect data type for that column is also must and should. Why? I will tell you. Okay, first let us concentrate on data types. So can you tell me, like, what are the data types we have generally? See, the name itself telling the data type, right? The type of the data that you are going to indicate by this. Yeah, I think you know few data types. If whatever it may be, it related to SQL or not, no worries.
Integer, varchar, string,
Yes,
date.
see, integer, varchar, string, date. Yes, like that, right? So these are more than enough. What you have said is more than enough. See, these are the data types that we are going to use while creating a table. See, not only the table, if you are declaring a variable also required a data type. If you are having a parameter, for that parameter also data type is mandatory. See, always I'm telling you that data type is mandatory, data type is important, you must declare a data type, you must include a data type. But why data types are mandatory? See, the moment I say name, I know that name will be in the form of strings. No one will keep name as 1, no one will keep name as 10. Names are strings, that's it. But how system will know that? How my server, SQL server, will know that? How? It doesn't, right? So that is why you have to include a data type while creating a table. So after, if you include a data type, perfect data type for a column, and you try to insert the record related to that, then it will not throw any error. But if you use different data type and if you want to store different values, you know it will slap you very hard with its error. Okay, so let us see all these data types. So char is nothing but a character data type. So which data type? Only black color it is showing. Yes. See, only it is going to store the characters. Okay, remember that point. Only in order to store the characters, we use char data type. Varchar is also, used to store the characters. Nvarchar is also used to store the characters. Then what is the difference of having three different data types? That's my first question. Okay. See, if it giving same functionality, what is the using of having three? One is enough, no? Yes. Here we have some limitations. So char means it is having a small size, and the leftover space inside the char will be kept like that. It will not be utilized. The leftover space will be wasted in the char. What is leftover space? I will tell you a thing. Now I have taken one thing here, char of something, some 10 I have taken. So uh, here here it is a, name kind of thing. Okay, name column. Now into this name column I should, so this name column was having which data type? Char data type. So into this name column I should enter Bhavya. See, the moment I say char of 10, it is going to have 10 spaces. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 and 10. Okay, this is the thing. Now I want to insert Bhavya, right? So I just inserted Bhavya. So B will be inserting here B H A Y A. Now only six letters I have, six characters or six alphabets I have, so it got fitted here. Now this is all filled. Okay, this is all filled. Now what about the space? What about the space? This is the leftover space. This leftover space will be wasted. Okay, so to the every record, if that is the scenario, and now it will be entering something called Raghu, Raghu something. So here we have a space. This is a leftover space. So if that is the case, what happens? Leftover space will be wasted. No one utilizes that. Then what is the like, what happens if the leftover space was wasted? You tell me, I will tell you one example. Recently, um, I have many, uh, spam emails in my email, and also some unwanted files in my Google Drive, some unwanted photos in my Google Photos. So there is something which is wastage in my drive. Okay, OneDrive or a Google Drive. So I just keep on like this. I did not deleted the thing. Now the storage got filled. Now I want to store something very which is very important. Now I don't have space. What I have to do? I have to remove the unwanted photos, unwanted documents, unwanted files from the drive or from the Google Drive. Otherwise, what I have to do? I have to pay to the Google person, and I want to buy some extra storage in the drive. Correct? Either I want to delete or I want to store extra. I want to buy an extra storage. Here also the same. So if the leftover space is not utilizing by the next word, you know, you have to buy some extra space of your storage in order to store the important data. This is the drawback of char. But where we can use char? See, sometimes you will be having a column, right? Gender column, either male or female. For that, we will be indicating F or M. So only one character, right? That you can take. If you know that only these characters are going to fit, or only these characters should be there, then you can directly take char. Okay, fine. This is the drawback of char. So to achieve this one, varchar comes into the picture. Okay, so this is the drawback of character, right? Char data type, right? But no worries, it is not existing. Char is existing. We are using char. But for in order to store names, we are not going for char. If you want to store gender column, or if you want to have gender column like F and M, only one character need to be fitted, right? So in that case, we will be using char. To achieve this drawback, varchar comes into the picture. Now, what varchar is doing? The leftover place will not be wasted. This, see, once Bhavya I have inserted, we have 1, 2, 3, 4 spaces left. Now Raghu will be fitted here. GH, and the next one U, it will be fitted into U. No worries. What we want to store the data. But SQL Server will do how we have to get the data and all. It doesn't bother where it has stored. Wherever it's stored, it actually required the address of that particular value. That's it. Okay. Now, char and varchar was having same data size. Okay, same data size, which is of 25 bytes, 255 bytes, I think. You can check the size of these data types in Google. Okay, I'm not sure. What is varchar? Array, that just now only I discussed, no? It is going to store the character, but varchar will not waste the leftover space. It will be utilizing by the next value. Correct? Yes. Now, what is mean by n varchar? Char and varchar is fine, but what is this n varchar? Anything? Any clue? Any logical answer? Fine, I will tell you. Now, um, char and varchar will accept only alphabets and the special characters which are there in our English keyboard. Okay, I want to store Chinese language inside a table. I want to store, uh, you know, Japanese language. I want to store some Marathi language. For that, varchar and unvarchar will not be supporting. No, it will support only the international language, which is English. The special symbols also it is going to support. But nvarchar will support some other languages also. You know, right? How Chinese language will be. So such kind of data. Then you should use nvarchar. It is an Unicode data type. Okay, universal character data type. Is that fine? So this is the difference between varchar, and nvarchar. See, I think this issue I just faced in SSIS. It is an ETL actually. So when I try to load the data, it has l- you like before loading, it has, you have to pass some steps, right? So it got passed all those steps, but near the data type I just end up with an issue that where the data inside the table are not going to convert because I used char. So if I use Unicode string, then it is going to create. So that time I just get it out. So why we have to use Unicode character? Because Unicode character will accept the universal alphabets, universal variables, universal characters. Okay. NVARCHAR will support both alphabet, special characters, Chinese language, Japanese language, everything. Okay. So this is all about char, varchar, and nvarchar. Now, if I want to store integers means what? Numbers. If I want to store numbers, then I will be going for int. If I want to store some floating values means what? Decimals, like 3.5, 4.5, some, I'll be going and using float data type. Now, to the salary column, I just want to store money data. Then I can use money data type. Here we have money data type. Okay. And if I want to store date into that column, then use date column. Sorry, date data type. Similarly, date time also. Are you getting me what I'm trying to tell you? Char, varchar, nvarchar, int, float, money, date, date time. These are the data types that we are going to use while creating a table. Okay, fine. So I think you're good enough here. We will try to create a a table now. So will you help me out, like how to create a table and what is the syntax we want to use? Where I have to use data type there.
Table name embraces int number.
Yes, correct. So it is asking me that ID must include a data type, right? So ID means here, this one. So this must include a data type. So here you have to give the data type. So IDs means generally what kind of data type we have. We used to store IDs, numerical one, right? To store numerical data, what was the data? Int. So don't give comma, don't give full stop, don't give anything you required. Okay, just give space and give data type. Okay, this is how we are going to create a table. Okay, table with one column. Remember guys, you can't create a table without a column. So if you want to create a table with column, then the data type is must and should. This is the first thing you have to remember. Okay, fine. Fine. Now I want, see, while inserting the data, uh, you know, I want to insert unique records. I don't want to insert null into any particular column. One of the particular column. I want to have some condition, like if the salary is greater than 500, then only the data should be inserted into the table. So for that, what I have to do? If I want to achieve that conditions, what I have to do?
Sense.
Constraints. See, what is meant by constraint? English meaning. Just tell me the English meaning. Don't go for SQL meaning. Constraint means what? Condition. Correct? Condition, right? Yes. So if you want to maintain some conditions while creating a table, then you have to use the constraints. Remember what you have to use? You have to use the constraints. What are the constraints we have in the SQL? Array, you're able to see the screen, right? So these are the constraints that we have in the SQL. I will tell you, the meaning of each and every constraint and how we are going to use it. We will do it practically. See, primary key constraint. I think you might heard about this primary key. So primary key is nothing but a key that we are going to have a non-null values in that column and unique records. So the moment if I give primary key to any particular column, then into that column I am not supposed to enter the duplicate values. I am not supposed to enter the null values. This is the first thing you have to remember. And tell me, I can have two primary keys for a table, correct? Correct? Yes. Wrong answer. See, while discussing about somewhere I think I discussed this primary key, right? Yeah, in the chord rules. So what is the one of the most important rule? Because of this situation only I have written it. See, for each table only one primary key. Okay, how many primary keys I can have for a table? Three, minimum three, right? Are you guys there?
Only one.
Only one.
Yes, right?
Yes.
Yes. Fine. So only one we need to have. Don't create two. Of course, it will not allow. Now, what is the use of primary key? It will not allow duplicate values. And it will not allow null values also. Nulls also it is not going to allow. This is the two things you have to remember. Again, foreign key. See, foreign key is nothing but a referential integrity. What is meant by referential integrity? It's nothing but a reference, that's all. So for you can have n number of foreign keys for a table. Okay, it doesn't bother about null values, it doesn't bother about duplicate values, it doesn't bother about like how the data was storing. No, see, primary key means null and unique need to be maintained, but foreign key, no such concept. But foreign key will help us to have a relationship between the tables which have primary key and which have foreign key. It can establish a connection, it can establish a reference. Now unique constraint means the moment I use unique for that column, then only unique records it is going to store. If I say Bhavya email ID is bhavya@gmail.com and the next also bhavya@gmail.com, now the next record Bhavya will not be entered into that column. It will be showing that violation of unique key constraint. Okay, that is for sure. Now check constraint means you need to check, like you need to have some condition on top of the column. Like if like salary column, if the salary is greater than 500, then only it should enter. So if that is the case, then I have to use check constraint while creating a table. Are you getting me what I'm telling unique means? It will not allow duplicates. Okay, now check is different, unique is different. Check will have a condition on top of the column, like it will not allow the values which are less than 500, because I have given that while creating a table, I have declared that salary should be greater than 500. Now how I will be declaring that, I will show you. Default means like for that column you are giving a default value, that's it. Okay, like while inserting data, if you want to have some default value, then you can use default keyword and you can do. It is also a constraint. Now not null means not null, name itself is indicating the column should not be the null, that's it. So combination of combination of unique key constraint and combination of not null, together we call it as a primary key. Okay, because what it is giving,
Bhavya,
it is
unit
yes,
will it allow the null values?
unique, yes it will.
Okay.
But see, unique will allow null values only one time. Okay, one record you have entered with null, and if you try to insert another null value, that time it will not allow. Okay, for one time it
Okay,
will
okay,
allow.
got it.
Yes, so like that. See, understand the difference here. See, primary key should have only one time for a table, only one primary key. So can I have unique key unique constraint, multiple unique constraint in a table? Yes. Answer is yes. Not null? Yes. Default? Yes. Check? Yes. Foreign key? Yes. So only primary key, only one primary key should be there for a table. But when it comes to foreign key, unique, check, default, and null, you can have n number of things. Not one, not two, not three. Go and give all the columns your constraints. Okay, this is all about constraints. Yeah, of course you will, it's impossible or it's somehow difficult to remember the constraints, and it is somehow difficult to know the definitions also, but if you do it practically, it will be nice. Can constraints be applied at both the column level and table level in SQL Server? Biggest doubt. What is, first of all, forgot about this application of constraints. First let me know what is column level, let me know what is table level, right? Let us learn together. Okay, let us try to create a table. Okay, so I just created a table like this. Now I want to create a table with constraint. Okay, how I'll be doing? And first of all, tell me, data types are mandatory or constraints are mandatory?
Data types
Mandatory
are
means you,
mandatory.
yes. Mandatory means compulsory. Okay, while creating a table, data types are compulsory or constraints are compulsory? This is my question, right? One of you told that data types are compulsory. Why he told that? He observed one thing here. See, the moment I didn't give a column name, it was like an error. The moment I did not give data type, it seems like it is going to, sorry, it already given an error. But did I take any constraint? No. Without constraint also you are going to create a table. So condition, right? So it's up to you whether you want to be a condition for that column or you want to have condition for that column. It's up to you. So that is why it's not that mandatory. If you want, you give. No, if you don't want, then don't give. No one will tell you an objection until unless it is your manager. Okay, only managers will tell you objections because manager knows the pros and cons that client has given. SQL Server will not, you know, hit you with error. Try to create a table with constraints. Create table which is id, which is of int, and here I want to have unique key constraint. I want to have enough one constraint. I'm just using. I will use all other constraints also, but here you have one concept. Observe it carefully. There is already an object named sample1 in the database. What it is, what the error it is showing? Read this one. Table name should be independent. What I have taken the same table name. Does it allowing me? No. It is not allowing me to create a table with the same name. Okay. Remember this point very carefully. Of course, if you try to create, it will show some error. No worries in that. Already an object name in the database, so you're not supposed to create this one. Now I'll be removing this sample2. I'm just taking and I'm creating it. See, commands completed successfully, which means with the constraint it has created. Now I want to see the tables, so just right click on the database, refresh the database, expand the tables. So these are the tables I just created to sample1, right? So expand this sample1. See, columns, keys, constraints. Open this constraint. Do we have any constraint? Don't tell me no. It is not showing here, but we have constraint for the table. How can we see that? How can we see the constraint that we have created on top of the table? If you want to see constraints, if you want to see the column names, if you want to see whether table got created or not, you have one beautiful, system, um, functions, or else system tables, or else one table, one schema. That is nothing but an information schema. Inside the information schema, you have many tables. So I want to see the constraints that we have created here. For that, what I have to do? I have to see the table. I have to see the records that are there inside the information schema dot tables. So to fetch something, to read the data from the database, we must use the word, or else we must use the command called select, which is a DQL command. Okay, just remember for now. So select is a DQL command that help us to fetch the records. Okay, fetch means what? Getting, right? Getting from the database. So I'm just using that. Select star from people who are learning SQL, sorry, Snowflake, they will tell me that, Bhavya, why you are using star all the time? It is very costly. As we know that it is very costly. We have learned in Snowflake. Yes, of course it is costly, but in SQL Server it's okay. We are not running any billing, right? We are not having any billing, and that too we have only limited records. No worries in that. Information scheme. The moment I hit INFO, it is showing me, right? Information scheme. I'm just selecting this. Dot. I don't know what are the tables I have, what are the things I have inside the information schema. I don't know. To know that, just keep on dot. Dot is a reference. Okay, see these many things I have. Okay, so I'm just clicking on the constraint column usage. So let us see what it will give. Yes, see, this is the catalog, means a database. This is the table. This is the column. This is the constraint catalog, like in which constraint, and this is the schema that the table was there and the constraint was there. This is the constraint name. Did I given any constraint name while creating a table? No. See, while creating a table, it's okay if you don't give constraint name. But while altering a table, like if you want to add a constraint after the table got created, then constraint name is mandatory. Now it's not required. See, right now I have only constraint. That is why it is just showing me one constraint. Okay, so information schema dot tables means table information, columns means column information. So it's okay, you can take, don't need to remember this one, but remember that you have information schema where you're going to get the information about your tables that you have created. So no matter in which database you have created, no matter, okay, every databases, each database which contains tables and views, everything, constraints and all, it is going to return with respect to of database, from the db6, from the db5, db4, everything it is going to return. Okay, just remember we have information schema, that's all. Okay, fine. Yes, see, the moment I mouse over on information schema, what it is telling, schema db7 dot information schema. See, information schema means sorry, what does it, what this highlighter means, if you mouse over, it is showing me something, no? That means this information schema we are selecting from db7 database, that it is telling us. I have shown db7, db_7 catalog. Okay, yeah, so this is all about today's concepts, guys. So we just created a table with one constraint and one column. So Monday we are going to create a table with all the constraints, like not only creating, we are going to alter the created table, okay, by applying constraints. So once we enter into DML, we will understand how it exactly work. Okay, in 2 classes we are going to understand this one. Yeah, that's all for today, guys. Do you have any doubts?
No, Bhavya. Thank you.
Yeah, fine. Yeah, that's all for today. Thank you, guys. Thanks for your time. Have a great day.